If you're a dentist and you're wondering whether Facebook ads should be part of your marketing arsenal, well, I'm going to show you exactly why in this video they must be. It's specifically, I'm going to show you 7 big benefits to running Facebook ads and how they can improve your dental practice. Hey, what's going on? Yuri here, CEO and founder of Healthpreneur. We help health practitioners fill and scale their practices by working smarter, not harder. And as an example, Facebook ads are one of the smartest things you can do for your business, assuming you do them properly, because they can obviously not work, but they can work as well. Just so you understand who I am and why I'm sharing this with you, is 95% of the business that we generate is from Facebook ads. We spend 6 figures a month in Facebook ads. And for the past 4.5 years, we have not had a single week where we have not had positive ROI on our Facebook ad campaigns. We help our clients use Facebook ads very heavily, and I'll share exactly why with you in this video. But first, before I get into that, I want to give you a better sense of how we see Facebook ads. Because if you're anything like a lot of other people in our space, you might have a specific connotation when it comes to advertising, that it's slimy, it's promotionally, all that kind of stuff. I want to show you one of our ads, and I want to show you that it's actually not like that at all if you know what you're doing. So here's an example of one of our ads, and you can tell that it starts off with a picture of me and one of my boys, and we're sitting on a cliff of rocks in Australia overlooking the Pacific Ocean. What does that have to do with building a great business? Maybe everything, because what we're selling here is the ultimate desire, the core emotion that our audience wants, which is freedom, family, etc. Okay. So you can see here that we've had 324 reactions, 35 comments, 37 shares. It's pretty good. And this has only been running for a week. So this is a pretty new ad, and it's performing really, really well for us. And you'll see here that it just looks, it's a story, right? It's a story that resonates with hopefully our audience. And obviously based on the proof of what I just showed you, and obviously the data on the back end, we know that it is working. So the whole idea here is that we're using story, not 1 or 2 sentences. Hey, got dirty teeth, come on into the clinic. That stuff is going to work to a degree, but I promise you, when you start to use what we call social story selling, your business transforms. And so this is an example of what a Facebook ad would look like in our world. And this is something that we help our clients do every single day. Now, with that said, let's jump into the 7 big benefits of using Facebook ads in your practice. So number 1 is you're basically getting 24/7 exposure. If you have a website and maybe a blog, the challenge with that is that no one sees your stuff, because unless your blog is huge or your website is massively authoritative, no one's going to find your stuff for the most part. Facebook, on the other hand, is essentially a bartering system where you say, hey, Facebook, I'm going to give you a certain amount of money for you to show this ad or this message to the people that I want you to show it to. And Facebook is going to say, cool, we can totally do that. But it depends on how much money you're going to give us. So if you give us $10 a day, we'll show it to this many people. If you give us $1,000 a day, we'll show it to this many people. And so really the goal is to really, start small and then scale up as things work. But the beautiful thing is that this is an ad. Instead of you posting something on Facebook organically and it, being a blip on the radar and disappearing forever and out of people's feeds, this is an ad or a message that is continually shown in front of your ideal audience 24/7, while you're treating patients, while you're sleeping, while you're having dinner with your family. This is working for you. So this is an example of leverage, of working smarter, because you have a 24/7 system that's working on your behalf. Okay, so that's the number 1 reason why this is super beneficial for you. Now, along with that, the second thing is that when people see your stuff all the time, you become top of mind. And so there's this phenomenon that I refer to as the visibility and conversion spectrum. Basically, how it looks like is this. I'll just go down here. So the more visible you are, it goes right up like that. Okay, CVR is conversion rate. Essentially, what happens is the more people see you, the more likely they are to choose you, because it's not the best dentist that wins. It's the best known dentist that wins. And visibility is very important, because think about this. How is someone supposed to choose your dental clinic if they don't even know you exist, right? It's impossible. So the goal that you should have is, how do I put a message or helpful content in front of my ideal prospects 24/7 so that I'm top of mind? So when they think I want to get my teeth cleaned or teeth whitened or I've got a cavity, they think of you. That's the beautiful thing about Facebook ads when they're done properly. The third thing that flows from this is predictable lead/patient flow. And the reason for this is, if you have the right funnel set up, and a funnel is essentially a journey that you take people through from not knowing you to like sitting in the chair in your office type of thing. What are the steps there? And obviously this is something that we help our clients with. And I have created a number of other videos on our channel that shows you some of those various funnels, like our shoot video book patient system as an example. But the beautiful thing is that because it's 24/7, you're not having to manually find patients. You're not having to rely on word of mouth, which is fine, but you can't build a business on that. You see, when you know exactly, if you give Facebook $1, they give you $2.50 in return in the form of new patient bookings, that is a predictable system. And now you can scale that. And that is when you have a real business. And this is what having social media advertising allows you to do when it's done properly. So you have a predictable flow of patients. Like, it's just like at some point you almost have to turn them off because you can't even handle the volume of patients coming in. Okay, that's a good problem to have. Number 4 is that it's inexpensive. I spend 6 figures a month on Facebook ads, and it's the cheapest thing I could possibly do in my business. Because even at the very minimum, if we spent $150,000 as an example, and we made $160,000 in return, so $10,000 profit, I'm still way ahead of the game. You know, we've used that money, we've built our list, we've built our following, we have paying clients coming in. Now, obviously that would be a very poor ROI, but generally in our case, in our business, we see anywhere from 3 to 10 times ROI on a monthly basis. And so that's not like, there's no way that's not even an expense. It's an investment. So having that mindset of being able to invest in your business in such a way where there's an outlay of capital, which is not even yours, it's the credit card that you're putting it on, and then very quickly being able to turn that around in terms of new patient bookings, and you can pay that credit card off even before the balance is due. That's what this allows you to do. So it's really inexpensive, and compared to where we were with Facebook ads 10 years ago, things are more expensive, but relative to next year and 3 years from now, Facebook ads are amazingly inexpensive, because the cost, like real estate in most parts of the world, the cost is only going to go up over time. So if you get in now, you will be acquiring leads and patients at a lower cost than you would, all else being equal, 3 years from now. And it's a tremendous opportunity. And I don't think it's expensive at all, because you're not using your money, you're not wasting your money. If it's done properly, you're like lending credit card money to Facebook. Facebook sends you patients, you pay off the credit card. We call this patient finance acquisition. And I'll have another video that will walk you through that more specifically. But listen, like, the only time it's expensive is when it doesn't work, right? So if you try to figure this stuff out on your own, obviously it's not going to work. But if you want help with this, and for instance, we might fit that bill for you, it's the least expensive thing you'll ever have in your business, okay? The only expensive decisions are the ones that don't work out. All right, so number 5 here is that relative to like Google ads or display network ads and stuff like that, Facebook advertising is very simple for the average person to understand. It's a very simple interface, very simple platform. And obviously when you have the right guidance and frameworks, it makes things a lot more easy. Google pay-per-click can be very complicated, just navigating the interface, just that alone. And then understanding the nuances of how to target and retarget. Like, it's crazy. I even have a tough time understanding Google PPC, and I've been doing this for 17 years. So at Facebook, there's 3 billion people, but within your local area, there might be tens or hundreds of thousands or maybe millions. That's all you need to target. You don't need to target the world, right? Just within your geographic location, which leads me to big benefit number 6 is targeting, which you can target exactly who you want to have come into your clinic. And there's obviously a couple things here. Number 1 is the messaging, right? So number 1 is the single target market. Who is the patient you want to have come in? Number 2 is obviously the messaging. And number 3 is what is the offer, right? We call this the magic. What is the thing that's going to get them off their chair, out of their car, out of their house to come to your clinic instead of someone else's? But the essence here is that you can get your message in front of whoever you want. If let's say that you specialize in dentures, you can have your ad be shown specifically to people of that age who are more likely to have dentures in your local area within a 5 to 10 mile radius of your clinic. I mean, it's amazing you can do this stuff, right? And then the 7th big benefit to running Facebook ads is that it adds a massive amount of goodwill to your local community. Because think about this. So I live in Toronto, and within my local area, if I had a clinic, I would be targeting ads within a 5 to 10 mile radius. And I would be running these 24/7. I'd be spending as much money as I possibly could because I'd have the right pipeline built out where I knew that if I spent X, I'd be getting X times something in return, and I would just let that run forever. And so what this does is, number 1, it builds my practice. Number 2, it adds tremendous amount of goodwill into the local community, especially when you do it right. And you'll know this happens when you go to Starbucks and the barista's like, hey, you're that dentist from Facebook, right? Stuff like this happens. You create local celebrity because you're adding goodwill into the local community. And the more goodwill you make, or the more goodwill you add, into people's lives, the more likely they're going to say yes to your stuff when you present something to them. So these are 7 big benefits to running Facebook ads. And I promise you, if you're not using Facebook ads in your business, it's a huge opportunity. And if you're in a point now where you need more patients, or maybe you're at a point where you don't know if you can handle more patients, that's a whole other issue. Either way, Facebook ads have a big piece to play in that puzzle. We've had clients like our client Ryan, who came to us in November 2019. He was $40,000 in the hole, almost out of business. And because of what we were able to help him do in his business, 9 months later, they're doing $2 million per month. That's a $25 million a year run rate. And 9 months prior, they were $40,000 in the hole, almost going out of business. How can you possibly grow that fast? It's by using Facebook ads. And it's by doing things the proper way and having the right offer, knowing what to do when people come into your door. And if you'd like help with this, then we'd be delighted to have a conversation about how we might be able to help you do so. And we do this through a free consult called the Practice Growth Session. And this is our opportunity to jump on the phone with you and simply figure out where you are, where you want to go, and help you get clear about how to get there. Because a lot of times you might be stuck, but you're not sure why you're stuck, or you might not even be aware of certain things happening or not happening in your business. And therefore, if you have these blind spots, you're not sure about them, and therefore you can't move forward. And so our objective is really to start a relationship with you, to lend a helping hand and be of service first and foremost, to help you get clarity and craft a game plan that will work for your specific situation. And of course, if you'd like our help to install these systems into your business, then we can certainly talk about what that would look like. Now, I just want to be very clear, we are not an agency. If we decide there is an opportunity to work together, we are a done with you coaching and training program where we will work very closely with you to help you install these systems in your business, but you have to do some of the heavy lifting, okay? So if that's of interest to you and you want to move your business forward with a lot more clarity and momentum, and you like what you see here, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Click the link below, book in your free practice growth session today, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, remember to subscribe to the channel because I got lots more great stuff to help you build a thriving practice. For now, thanks so much for your attention and for tuning in. I'm Yuri Elkaim, tuning you out, and I'll see you soon.